It's time to train with the characters of Marvel's The X-Men with Mr. Sciortino, Volume 2. The X-Men are a set of heroes who show great strength in being unique and diverse in a world that is not always welcoming. They are true pop culture role models for anybody who feels oppressed or shut out because they are different. Follow along with the gifts while I give you the second installment of some insight into more of the characters of one of my favorite teams of superheroes. First, a brief history of the comic in the 1970s. Although the Roy Thomas, Neil Adams, Tom Palmer issues of X-Men have long been regarded as classics, they came too late to save the series. Based on the sales of the issues before Adams' arrival, X-Men was canceled in issue 66 in 1970. However, Marvel was determined to keep the X-Men alive. Only 9 months after the cancellation, the X-Men comic returned, reprinting stories from the past. The X-Men also continued to appear as guest stars in other Marvel series. And meanwhile, Marvel tinkered with the X-Men concept, such as going into action in everyday clothing. The Beast was spun off into his own series in Amazing Adventures, in which he was given a radical makeover, becoming furry and more animalistic. Wolverine was later introduced in Incredible Hulk issue 180, and the other X-Men made their debut in Giant Size X-Men issue 1 in 1975. New Marvel writer Chris Claremont ran the book for 17 years as writer of the X-Men, a record yet to be matched. More science fiction elements and character development were introduced, and X-Men began rising. A new team of artists and writers, Chris Claremont, John Byrne, and Terry Austin, helped create a thrillingly dramatic, graphically brilliant, and highly literate run of issues that are still landmarks of the genre today. Let's find out who more of these mutants are. Banshee. Real name, Sean Cassidy. Occupation, Director of X-Corp. Height, 6 feet. Weight, 170 pounds. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 28, January 1967. Sean Cassidy takes his name, the Banshee, from a female spirit of Irish folklore, who wails to warn a family that one of its members is about to die. The X-Men's Banshee also wails. Using his abilities, Banshee can create a sonic scream, which could propel him into flight, shatter solid objects, and fire percussive blasts that places others into trances or knocks them unconscious. Sean Cassidy was born into fortune, was heir to a magnificent Irish castle, Cassidy Keep, and had a successful career in the international law enforcement agency, Interpol. Unfortunately, the woman he married along with their daughter were in Northern Ireland visiting relatives and was killed by a terrorist bomb while his daughter was kidnapped, unbeknownst to Sean. Overcome with grief, Cassidy turned to crime and fought with an evil mutant group, Factor 3. They controlled his mind until Xavier disarmed the device and freed Banshee from crime to join forces with the X-Men. Polaris. Real name, Lorna Dane. Occupation, Adventurer. Height, 5'7". Weight, 115 pounds. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 49, October 1968. When Lorna Dane was growing up, she was careful to hide her green hair, but her life changed when she first met Iceman. The mutant criminal Mesmero captured Lorna and placed her in a machine that activated her latent mutant power to control magnetic forces. Polaris has power over magnetism and can use it to fly, create force fields, and manipulate anything made of magnetic materials. She also has a healing factor. She later met Magneto, who claimed to be her father. However, Iceman discovered her real parents died in a plane crash when she was a baby. Once he told Lorna this, she teamed up with the X-Men against Mesmero. Havoc. Real name, Alexander Alex Summers. Occupation, Adventurer, X-Man. Height, 6 foot. Weight, 180 pounds. First appearance, X-Men number 54, March 1969. Separated after their parents' disappearance, Scott Summers and his brother Alex grew up apart. Unlike Scott, Alex showed no sign of being a mutant until he was captured by Ahmet Abdul, an Egyptian mutant who was worshipped as living pharaoh. The pharaoh discovered that Alex gained his power by absorbing cosmic rays. Alex can absorb solar energy and project it in the form of plasma bolts of intense heat, which cause objects to shatter or burn up. He can also project plasma in the form of a blast with a telltale concentric circle pattern. Alex's powers somehow limited the abilities of the pharaoh, so he imprisoned Alex and absorbed them himself. Alex broke free, causing the pharaoh to become helpless, but was caught by Larry Trask's Sentinels, super soldier weapons, where he was imprisoned with another mutant, Lorna Dane, and with whom he fell in love. Sunfire. Real name, Shiro Yoshida. Occupation, adventurer. Height, 5'10", weight, 175 pounds. First appearance, X-Men number 64, January 1970. When the United States dropped an atomic bomb in Hiroshima at the close of World War II, Shiro Yoshida's mother was exposed to an intense radiation that altered her genes. Years later, she died giving birth to her son, Shiro, a mutant who had powers to project solar fire and create superheated air currents to fly. He also can create a psionic protective force field and is trained in karate, Japanese samurai swordsmanship, and kendo. Naming himself Sunfire, Yoshida vowed to take revenge on the United States for Japan's wartime defeat. The X-Men successfully stopped him from destroying the Capitol building. Eventually, the death of Shiro's father, a diplomat, shocked Sunfire into abandoning his path of revenge and becoming a brief member, but longtime ally of the X-Men. Wolverine. Real name, James Howlett. Logan. Occupation, adventurer. Height, 5'3", weight, 195 pounds. First appearance, Incredible Hulk number 180, October 1974. Like the animal that is his namesake, Wolverine may be small in size, but he's ferocious in battle. It has taken him years to master his animalistic impulses, and should his control slip, he could easily give way to berserk madness. Wolverine's main weapons are his claws, which are actual bones which lie within his forearms. At will, he can thrust the claws forth through the back of his hands or retract them. Scientists bonded molecules of the alloy adamantium to the claws to make them unbreakable. He has the mutant ability to heal from injuries at exceptional speed, making him virtually unkillable, and has superhumanly acute senses of smell and hearing. Colossus. Real name, Peter Rasputin. Occupation, adventurer. Height, 7'5", weight, 500 pounds. First appearance, Giant Size X-Men number 1, May 1975. A giant of a man, Colossus is definitely a name that suits this X-Men. He has the ability to change his body's tissue into an organic, steel-like material. This tissue gives Colossus superhuman strength. He can lift up to 70 tons, and protects him from injury. Despite his extraordinary powers, Peter, as he is known in English, preferred to live on a collective farm in Siberia with his parents and his beloved little sister. It was here that Professor Xavier met him and persuaded him to join his new international team of X-Men. Young and idealistic, Colossus remained a loyal member of the X-Men for many years, finding romance with a teammate named Kitty Pryde, alias Shadowcat, and a new vocation as a gifted amateur painter. Nightcrawler. Real name, Kurt Wagner. Occupation, adventurer. Height, 5'9", weight, 195 pounds. First appearance, Giant Size X-Men number 1, May 1975. Appearing out of nowhere in a puff of smoke, at first, Nightcrawler looks like a demon from a medieval image. He has eyes that appear glowing yellow, a fanged teeth smile, covered in dark blue fur, and has a long pointy tail. However, Nightcrawler is Kurt Wagner, a German-born mutant with the ability to teleport himself at will. Kurt is deeply religious and performs incredible acrobatic feats of daring. He learned that he is the son of shapeshifter Mystique and a German aristocrat. When Bavarian villagers discovered Mystique was a mutant, they tried to kill her and her newborn, Kurt. To survive, Mystique used her powers to disguise herself as a villager and ruthlessly threw her baby into a waterfall. Luckily, Kurt survived and was found by a gypsy sorceress who raised him in a traveling circus. There, Kurt won applause as an acrobat and high-wire performer from audiences who assumed he was an ordinary human wearing a costume. Kurt has the power to teleport himself, his clothing, and a limited amount of additional mass by traveling through another dimension. When he teleports, part of the atmosphere of that dimension escapes onto Earth, accompanied by a BAMF sound and the smell of brimstone. Storm. Real name, Aurora Monroe. Occupation, adventurer. Height, 5'11", weight, 127 pounds. First appearance, Giant Size X-Men number 1, 1975. Orphan and goddess, thief and crusader. African and American, Storm has filled many roles during her young life. She is based in Wakanda and has the mutant ability to control the weather around her. Storm can also summon up the wind strong enough to carry her through the air in flight. She has the power to control the creation of rain, snow, sleet, fog, hail, and lightning. Storm can create hurricane-force winds and even lower the temperature around her to freezing point and below. Storm's mother, Ndade, was the princess of a tribe in Kenya and was descended from an ancient tribe of African priestesses, all of whom had white hair and blue eyes. Storm's ancestry is what supports the use of magic and witchcraft. Many of her ancestors were sorceresses and priestesses. Her magic is connected to the Time Stone, which Doctor Strange possesses, as well as the magical abilities of the Scarlet Witch. Mystique, real name Raven Darkholme. Occupation, criminal, terrorist, government agent, teacher. Height 5'10", weight 120 pounds. First appearance, Ms. Marvel number 16, April 1978. Mystique is a metamorph who can alter her form at will to impersonate other people, create new identities for herself, or even transform herself into a monster. Her shapeshifter power can make herself look like any human, humanoid, or semi-humanoid, being male or female, copying every detail, including retina, fingerprints, and voice pattern. Her power also slows down the aging process, maintaining her youthful appearance. However, she cannot duplicate the superpowers of those she impersonates, or increase or decrease her mass. Mystique's gray-black skin and yellow eyes are genetic signs inherited by her son, Nightcrawler. Mystique can psionically shift the atoms and molecules of her clothing to alter their appearance. Mystique helped form the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which she created in outrage at the public's attempts to restrict mutants' freedom. Hopefully you enjoyed learning about the heroes and villains in the second installment of the never-ending X-Men saga. If you enjoyed this, please click like and then subscribe on Sciortino Super's YouTube channel for more super videos. Stay tuned for the third volume coming soon. Music provided by Y-Talk.